out on the front now. Just want to show you basically what we got. So that wire right there is called 10-3 wire, if I'm not mistaken, 10-3, and it's rated for direct burial. We got about 40 feet there. That goes up in into the main panel, and it feeds a 30 amp right here breaker. It's weatherproof, but we had this tarp on it because we were working under it. And so basically I also got the water line up to here. This is the end of the conduit. We laid a 3-inch conduit from here all the way to the end. Yeah, showers for hours, no doubt. It's been raining like a mofo here in Washington. So the conduit goes all the way under. Oh snap, I forgot to mark this end. Let me throw something in the ground before I forget where the end of it is. I marked this end. I better mark this one too. Okay. The end of this one is roughly right about here. Alright. There we go. No, not yet, Blake. It's coming though. It's coming. So basically, I got the water line there. I already got a water line in this trench all the way up to about there. So we're almost to the trucks. They just got to go another 100 feet or so, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll for pressure washing trucks. But we got the water line and electricity coming out this way. The end of the conduit's right here. So if I ever need to run another line or anything across the road, I'll have to dig it up again. I can just dig up the two ends and push it through the conduit. It's a 3-inch. And so there's plenty of space in there. So let me just show you. We got a nice bright. It's a 18,000 lumen LED light right there, and it's basically got a photo sensor on the top of it. So as soon as it gets dusk, boom, power. All right. Okay. We also got a little water tank. Let me show you though. So this is how much it's rained. Like a week ago, the pond was almost empty. Right now, it's like 5 feet deep, roughly. So it's pretty full right now. Another 8 inches, and then it'll be exiting right over there. You know, it'll only fill up another 8 inches, and then that's full. So anyways, let's just show you the progress I made on the inside in here. So I wired everything in here. Everything, 100%. My buddy Scott, he's a journeyman electrician. Shout out to Scott. He taught me how to do this. Scott Peterson, so that guy freaking rocks. So anyways, we came up in here with the 10-3. This is the 10-3 wire. And what it is it's basically got 4 wires in there. White, bare wire, red, and black. Right? So 4 wires in one. This is rated for direct burial. Yeah, this is 10-3. You can see 10-3 on there. Yep. 10-3. See right here it says, I'm blocking it with my finger. There's 10-3. So what that means is the gauge is 10 gauge wire, and then there's 3 wires in there. You got the white, the black, and the red, and they don't count the ground wire. Yeah, 10-3 with ground, basically. Yep, you got it, Blake. So this is the panel, right? And so let me just show you. I wired all this. I didn't put that really on there. I just kind of just set it in there. Let me get my Milwaukee light over here so you can really see how I wired this. Okay, so let me turn one more light on. There, now it's as bright as it can get in here. Okay, so basically, this is how this wiring works. The main power wire comes in, right, and through the bottom. And then you got your red and your black go to each bus bar. And then you got the ground. And then you got the neutral. Right? And that's how that works. So the red and the black power, they feed this whole bus bar basically. Right? And then we have, so this breaker right here, this 30 amp breaker isn't hooked up to anything currently, but this is going to go to the well. This is a 30 amp breaker. And then this 30 amp breaker is going to be for my washer and dryer, right? So obviously this is only rated for 30 amps, so you can only run one at a time, probably without popping the fuse on the other panel. So, you know, one at a time is basically how it's going to work. But we're going to use this as our washer and dryer room until we get our house built, because I'm done paying the freaking laundromat, you know, $50 a month or whatever it costs. So I'm getting it set up in here so we can wash and dry our clothes in here. We got a little water heater. I think it's a 5 or 6 gallon water heater. I think it's 6 gallons or something like that. 5 gallons. Anyways, instant water heater, that's going to plug into that. And then we got our cold water that's going to come in right there. And then the hot water comes out and goes up there. And then the cold water, I haven't really figured out where that's going to come from yet. This is going to have to tee into where this one goes. And then, anyways, so then the dryer, this is the dryer. This is the dryer circuit for the dryer. So it needs the same 30 amp. So we got red and black going into that. And then we got the neutral going up and the ground going up. You can also see our braided ground wire that goes out and is attached to 2 ground rods. Right? And then these two right here, these 2 wires are basically powering 3 outlets, well, 4 outlets and a light. So let me explain how that works. So each of them is hooked to a 20 amp breaker. You can see one breaker and then a second breaker, right? So then the wires come out, they go up, and they go across here. I'll explain how the light's hooked up in a second. But it's got a little pull string. It's kind of authentic, rustic looking, so that's kind of how I did that. So one of the wires goes straight to the outlet, and then on the bottom of the GFI, we attached the bottom and then came back out, and then let's see that one. Where does that one go? Oh yeah. Okay, so this one, this outlet is a GFI, and then it runs out and up, and that's what the outside light is hooked to. the light, the LED light that's out there. Okay, and then I have this light, or this GFI, right? So the power comes into that, and then the power comes back out on the bottom of it, so this light is GFI protected, and the way that works is the wire comes out, goes over, attaches to the light switch, and then comes up and over to the light. And the way that works is I can also turn that light off with this switch. Right? And then we also have an electric plug that's GFI protected because we did it off the bottom of that GFI plug. Right? And the reason you do that is the GFI plugs are like 20 bucks and those plugs are like $2. So you do one of those and then you can do two off of it, basically. And so that's basically what we did. We got one going to the light switch, and then from the light switch to the light, and then we also got another one coming off, going straight up and over, and then down to that plug, which is just a normal plug. And that's going to power the water heater and the washer. And so I figure, you know, the washing machine, it's probably not, we'll probably usually run it on warm cold, so it's probably not going to be running super hot, super, you know, using a lot of energy. So we'll probably be good, right? And then I'll probably end up plugging our freezer into this one. That way, if that ever kicks on, it's not adding additional load to the water heater and the washer. But right now, it's just plugged into that because that was the most convenient. But we got ourselves a small little chest freezer. We just filled it up today with some goodies. So she's all full. But I'm very proud of this because this is like my first major wiring, you know, that I've ever done by myself. You know, Scott showed me how to hook this up, so I learned how to hook that all up, and, you know, I kind of went to town just hooking stuff up. But, yeah, it's been pretty fun. We basically filled in that whole panel. Right now, these two breakers aren't attached to anything. Eventually, what I'm going to do is one of these breakers is going to go to a heat tape for the well. That way the water line going to the well never freezes up. And it'll have a thermostat on it. That's going to be one of these. And then the other one, I'm not 100% sure yet. So we'll figure that out. But we got another breaker in there, so we'll use it for something. And you can see the drill rig's out there right now. He hasn't started. He said he was going to start on Thursday, which is today. He said he was going to start on Tuesday. He showed up on Tuesday, but he didn't do nothing. And then he said he was going to start today, but I'm thinking he just decided against it because of all the rain. Yeah. Yeah, tankless water. It does have a tank in it, Blake. It does have a tank in it. It's not very big. It's like 6 gallons or something, you know. The cold water isn't hooked up yet because I don't know how far it's going to hook up or how it's going to hook up. But yeah, no, this is a 10 by 12. It's pretty spacious inside. You know, it really is pretty spacious. And then this isn't even the, you know, the rest of it, because we got the upstairs also. which the kids got all their toys everywhere. You know, and I can stand up here. I just can't walk because of those eaves right there. You'll bust your head if you're not careful. Looks like a 20 by 20 on the inside. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Blake. It's a lot bigger than I had intended when I first built the thing. Like, I was thinking 10 by 12. Oh yeah, that's gonna be perfect. That's kind of small. That'll work perfect, you know. And then once we put the woods up, and I was like, yeah, this is really tall, Grandpa. This is pretty big. He's like, yeah, I know. It'll work out. You'll like it. Bigger is better. And I'm like, no, Grandpa, I think it's too big. And he's like, no, we'll keep putting it together and we'll see what you think. And then we ended up getting it together, and then I was like, well, we're gonna have to do a second story because it's just way too big. And then we did the second story for the kids, and they freaking love that. You know? I need you to build me a 20 by 40. What's cool is having this little wood stove in here too to burn all the garbage from everything I bought. Man, the amount of cardboard that they send with you when you buy this stuff, it's crazy. I'm gonna start a fire in the wood stove. I always like to start it with the blowtorch. It goes a lot quicker. So one of the cool, neat things that we have when I was doing this project that made this really useful and helpful is Scott made this. Basically, it's just two of these and a nail, and it spins. Right? So you just hang it up. And let me tell you what, unwiring the wire and running it where you want it is so much easier with something like this. And it really made a big difference. You'd be surprised. So, yep, we still got lots of goodies left over for, you know, all the other stuff we do. I got a whole bunch of other outlets and stuff for my grandpa and some more wire and stuff. This there, I'm gonna use that for another light. It's not the 10.3, it's 12.2, I think. It's good for a security light or something. 20 amps is what it's good for, I believe. So I might run that out of that one of those breakers and then, you know, do a light on that. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But that might be an option. But yeah, we had a lot of rain. Let me shut that off. So I pretty much spent all day in here just wiring stuff and getting everything ready to put a washer and dryer in here. You can see that's where the dryer plug is right there. It just comes up. Crosses over and then goes down and then in that right there. So anyways, got both trucks working tomorrow. My solo's working on Tuesday, so things are starting to slow down a little bit. You know, that's the way it goes. Once you start seeing geese flying in Washington, like that's your heads up, like, hey, stuff's about to start slowing down. When you see the birds migrate, and you're like, oh, it's about to start getting slower. But I figured I'd pop on here and say hi to you guys. So, anyways, just figured I'd show you an update. The guy that's doing the well, man, this rig is ancient, man. You guys gotta see this well. Man, that light is bright. 18,000 lumens. Look at this like an antique well rig. He's gonna drill it though. With that, you can see how bright that thing is. Man, that is bright. Like, it's lighting up this whole area. So when I come out to walk down to the trucks in the morning, I can walk from there all the way to almost the trucks before I need my flashlight. When will I have the well done? Dude, I don't even know, man. I'm guessing at the rate this guy's going, it's going to be like 2 weeks probably, which really bites because, like, as you know, the water tank used to sit right there. I moved it, and to move it, we had to drain it and disconnect it, right? So there's the water line that goes to the camper. It's disconnected, right? And you can see the tank is just kind of just sitting here, not connected to nothing. And it's basically empty. So the sucky part is like I can't just pay him to fill it because it's not connected. I do have a valve on there, so I could connect it and then flush the line and then connect it right to there. So not an issue, but I really don't want to pay another $500 to have them come out and you know, fill the tank when our well's gonna be done, you know, in, I don't know, a few days. So we're basically we're trying to use as little water as we can, you know, and you know, just trying to really limit our water usage. But man, that pond is full. That's a lot of water in there. That's probably like 50,000 gallons. No, maybe not 50. Maybe 30. 25 to 30, if I had to guess. That's a lot of water. But yeah, that is bright. You can see how bright that light is. I'm glad I bought that one. It's like $250, but it's LED. Should last, says lasts up to 45 years. So it'll outlast me, maybe, you know. It's got a photosynthesizer or whatever on the top. Tells it when it's bright out and it shuts it off. I was gonna hook it up to a motion sensor, but they didn't have any just plain motion sensors at Home Depot, so couldn't just hook it up to one of those. That's kind of what I was looking for, was a motion sensor security light. But the problem is all their motion sensor security lights, they're only like 2,000 lumens, you know? Like, that's wimpy. I want something 18,000 lumens. That's 18,000. That's what I want right there, you know? I don't want no crappy 2,000 lumen security light. That don't do me no good, you know? So, anyways. Alright, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Just wanted to show you, you know, the panel, and I got everything wired, and you know, check out that light bulb. That is cool. It's like the Edison light bulb type. It looks kind of like an old antique light bulb. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for tuning in.